Hey, it's Deborah Criddle. I am a 30-year veteran in the mortgage industry, and in our area, I'm known as the Mortgage Queen. I absolutely love my job and I love the people that I work with. But let's talk today about a purchase HECM loan, Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. It came out in 2008. This program has kind of gone through a lot of transitions over the years, but this latest and greatest version of this came out in 2008. And there are some amazing pieces to this that are just very, very catered to the senior class. We are going to go over a couple of different high-level things. There's more information on a greater video than this, but this is pretty high level, so definitely plan on a greater explanation, but this is a good start. When you get into those older years as a senior, 62 years or older, and you own your home outright, or you have a substantial amount of equity in your home, you're kind of in a position that you've got to start making some decisions with a few things. Hypothetically, let's just say that you need to upgrade or downgrade your home. Downgrade your home because your children have moved, you don't have as much need for the space, maybe your children have moved out of the area, you want to relocate to them. And here's where it gets interesting. 75% of seniors' assets sit in the equity of their home. So you're looking at possibly having to change your home, your living situation, and all of this equity sits in this home. All right, let's figure out how we can use that the best way. And that's where the HECM comes in. Let's talk about the fact that you're going to sell your home, you're going to relocate to a different home. And I'm going to go through an actual math calculation with this just a little bit, but we have one of two options as it currently sits with the normal traditional path. I own my home, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to buy a new home with all the cash, and at that point, I don't have a mortgage. Great, that's fantastic. But all of your money that you had access to is no longer liquid. That is the only way to get that money is to get another loan. The 30-year mortgage out there, if you're, say, 62 and you put a 30-year mortgage on it, you're going to be paying on that till you're 92 or dead. If you're 80 and you're going to put a 30-year mortgage in place, you're going to pay on that till you're 110. Not necessarily the best option or always the only option, and that's where this HECM mortgage comes in. It gives us the ability to do an equity split and take some of that money from the sale of your home and maybe stack it into a different home, slightly different. The down payment requirement is based off the age of the youngest borrower on the loan. So we'll take a married couple. A married couple, one of them is 62 and one of them is 70. The down payment is going to be dictated by the youngest borrower on the loan, which is 62. And it's all calculated on an algorithm based off of historical data of longevity of life, and it's a neat little calculation, but it will go off of the age of the youngest borrower, in our scenario 62, and that will dictate how much of the money from the sale of your home will have to become your down payment. It does allow us in some cases, obviously each case is going to be different, it does give us the ability to keep some of that money back and still be able to buy a home and not have a mortgage payment. It's a regular FHA loan product, and so it's backed by the United States government with the Federal Housing Administration. You still own the house, you still stay on the title. You could sell this home at any time. This new home you're buying, you can sell it at any time. This program does not stop you from having control of your whole home situation. It's just utilizing your equity in a different way. Some of the misunderstandings as you dive into this just a little bit, if you start researching online, I counsel you to maybe not. You're going to come across the fact that you have to sign over your home. You're removing your ability to have your heirs buy your home from the estate. You don't have access to the equity. You don't have access to all of the equity. There's just a lot of outdated information on the internet. And so I caution you to not dive in too deep. reach out to me directly and let me answer your questions so that you don't have any of those misunderstandings skew your mindset to the point that you don't feel like you can do this program. Some of the eligibility requirements: you have to be at least 62 years old. At least one borrower on the loan has to be 62. Now remember, our amount of down payment comes from the age of the youngest borrower. So if the main borrower is 62 and one of the other borrowers is 55, it might require a little bit higher down payment. Obviously something that we can calculate there. It has to be your primary residence. You can definitely be a snowbird in regards to, I live in this home for 6 months and 1 day, but I live down in the warmer climate during the winter time for 5 months. That's not a problem. It just has to be considered your primary residence, and you have to occupy it for the majority of the year. And there's nothing wrong with leaving it vacant. There's nothing wrong with having that be something your children come stay with you. There's no restrictions on that part of it, but it has to be your primary residence. Second homes: if you own this home as your primary residence and you want to and can purchase a home that is a second home classification, maybe in that warmer climate, that's okay too. You can have two ownerships of two homes, and you can also have investment properties. So it doesn't restrict your ability to have a rental portfolio or your ability to have a second home as well. Obviously, all the numbers have to make sense for you. But as a financial advisor once told me, this is a very misunderstood program, and financial advisors are definitely not as educated as they should be in regards to this, because they are helping a lot of seniors maneuver the retirement years. So let's talk about a scenario. I own my home, or you own your home, and you're looking to make a change. Own your home and have $300,000 worth of equity. So in this scenario, we either own our house outright and we have $300,000 in equity, or we owe something on it, but we're able to sell it, we have $300,000 in equity. Either way, we're going to use the scenario that we have $300,000. So I want to upgrade my home or change my home, and in order for me to get a home that's going to fit my needs, my purchase price is $500,000. Okay, I only have $300,000. So my option is this: I buy my $500,000 house, I put that $300,000 down and still have a $200,000 mortgage, an actual mortgage payment due, or we can adjust things just a little bit. Let's take that $500,000 house and say we have to put 50% down because of our age. That is $250,000. So out of my $300,000 worth of equity I have for my home sell, I'm going to use $250,000 of that and buy my $500,000 house. My remaining $50,000 can be put in a money market. It can be put in a savings account. It can be put in my checking account. I can talk to my financial advisor and have him or her advise me whether we put some money in a stock market. Maybe I want to help my grandchildren with high school or college things that they're doing. Maybe I want to help my children get some of their early inheritance. Whatever the case might be, that remaining $50,000 is your choice, and you have the ability to utilize that somewhere else. Now the benefit to this is this: we've put it into a HECM mortgage. I've put $250,000 down. I don't have a principal and interest mortgage payment on this because the interest is getting tacked on the back end of the loan. It's a interest accruing loan, but the interest payments are just getting tacked onto the loan. So I have my $50,000 in my account, and I do not have a mortgage payment in this scenario. Now, you are still responsible for property taxes, home insurance, flood insurance, HOAs, maintenance, those kind of things, but the actual principal and interest payment in a standard traditional mortgage is not required on this HECM loan. There's a lot of different situations: homes that are free and clear and having a substantial amount of equity. Say we wanted to buy a $500,000 house and we had $500,000 from the sale of our home. You could pay cash for the whole thing. Yes, you could. Or maybe we're in a position that our down payment is 50%. So I buy my $500,000 house and I only take $250,000 of my $500 that I had in equity, and I take that other $250,000 and I put that somewhere else. I put that with my financial planner. I put that with my money market account. I just put that in savings. I give some of that to my grandchildren. So even if you had enough money from the sale of your home to pay cash for a new home, let's split that equity up and let's utilize it a different way so that you can keep some of that money liquid. And no monthly principal and interest mortgage payment is due. It's a beautiful program. You still have to remember that property taxes are your responsibility, home insurance are your responsibility, but there's also a way to utilize some of the quote unquote down payment to do a set aside of home insurance and property taxes. And we can look at that too. And then you could be in a position that home insurance and property taxes are set aside for you so that they just pull from that loan for you as well, and you're not required to pay them. So there's the loan set aside that we can do on that part of it too. Lots of just really cool things that we can do here. It gives us the ability to take the equity from our current home that we worked so hard to obtain, and we get to split it in a couple of different ways to be able to utilize it so we have access to it later. I would just recommend you reaching out if you are over 62, you own a home, you own a home outright, you own a home with some substantial equity, you listening to this have parents who are in this situation and you're worried that you're going to be having to help pay their bills because they're still in a mortgage payment. We'd love to run your scenario. It's super, super easy for us to get basic information, run the scenario, and see if this is an option for you. Now, with that being said, I want to just throw this one little blurb in. It's very important families are aware of what's going on. Parents and children communicate about this loan, because the last thing we want to do is blindside a family when the estate is getting settled. So as children, sit down with your parents. Parents, sit down with your children. If you have crummy children that you don't need them to be a part of things and they're not in your will, that's okay. I'm not telling you have to unite your family. I'm just telling you that if we have the ability to sit down with your children and you as a senior to look at what is best for your financial situation, we love to sit down with all the children. If they're out of the area, we'll get them on a Zoom call, but it's a really amazing program. So if you have equity in your home, you're looking at transitioning out, if you own your home outright and you're looking at transitioning out, if you just want to have a quick conversation on whether or not this is an option for you, I would absolutely love to help you. So I will put my contact information at the end of this video so that you can reach out to us, and I will look forward to hearing from you.